Since October of 2011, I have seen firsthand what being diagnosed with high-risk HPV, human papillomavirus, can have on someone. A friend of mine has been diagnosed with this and has pre-cancer of the cervix. She has undergone biopsies and is looking at another procedure in May to remove the infected tissue. Because it has infected a good portion of her cervix, she only has one shot at a leap. If the margins come back not clear, she is looking at a partial hysterectomy at the age of 30. Now, all this sounds bad enough, but on top of it, she doesn't have insurance. When she tried to get insurance, they told her it would be an $800 premium. You're probably wondering right now, where is she going with all this? Well, let me tell you where I'm going. I believe that you should have your sons and daughters vaccinated against the human papillomavirus, which is the #1 highly spread STD. And I'm going to tell you why you should have your sons and daughters vaccinated against this virus. And we will talk about reasons why people don't want to have them vaccinated. According to the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, about 20 million people are already infected with HPV, while another 6 million are infected each year. You do the math at your odds of getting this virus. Now, if this isn't scary enough, imagine what the numbers will be by the time our children are grown and their chances of getting HPV are going to be. This to me is enough to make you want to go out and get your children vaccinated against this highly spread STD. Okay, let's say you're one of those parents that says, well, this is giving my child permission to go have sex. Absolutely not. To me, this shows you are caring about your child. And the earlier that you get them vaccinated before they start having sex, the better chance they have to be protected. Think about it. Your children get vaccinated against measles, hepatitis A, flu, and many more. Does this mean they are ever going to get this virus? No, this just means you care about their well-being. A reason you should get your son vaccinated is because they cannot be tested for HPV. Unless they get an HPV that causes genital warts, they never know they have it. Let's say your son has sex and doesn't know he has HPV. Guess what? He still won't know because it can take up to 6 years for it to show up in a female who gets tested by pap smears. What does this mean? Let's say he has sex with 5 girls in a 5-year period. The numbers of HPV go up. According to Cates, 1 in 2 people will get HPV. Also, in this journal, there was a quote from a parent that they talked to in a focus group that said, "Protect their lives and their wives." Wow, how true that statement is. See, the difference between male and female is a female goes to a doctor, hopefully regularly. If not, you should. But they can warn others if they have HPV. A male cannot, because 9 times out of 10, he does not know he has it. Studies also are showing now that HPV can cause penile cancer. I hope you don't want your son to go through that. I know I wouldn't personally. Let's talk about why you should get your daughter vaccinated. Not only does HPV cause cervical cancer, which according to the Journal of Women's Health is the #2 cancer concern of females. It can also cause vulvar cancer, vaginal cancer, anal cancer, and it is now showing where it can cause throat cancers. It can mess up their chances of having children if the damage of HPV is severe enough. Also in this magazine, it talks about how all women should be vaccinated. Of course, you have the ones saying, no, not all women, just the ones that are promiscuous. Guess what? You don't have to be promiscuous. Another woman spoke up and said, what if you're raped and that person has HPV and you're not protected? Perspectives on Sexual and Reproductive Health is trying to promote vaccinations for boys. Don't take for granted the message will get across. You are responsible for your daughter, not other parents in hopes they will get their sons vaccinated. Now, another reason why some people may not get their children vaccinated is the cost. The cost of the vaccinations can cost around $300. Who can really afford this? But can you really put the price tag on your child's life or health? Some insurance companies will cover HPV vaccine at a certain age. Now, if we can get rid of the controversy about HPV vaccine, then the insurance companies might be more apt to cover it as a preventive measure. I called around to some doctor's office, and the first thing they said was, make sure your insurance company will cover it. So for giggles, I said, my child has Famous, which is a form of Medicaid, and guess what? They do not cover it. This floored me. You would think they would want to cover and prevent people who might end up with the HPV virus and the horrible issues it causes than paying for what they might have to go through if they do acquire cancer. Last but not least is the issue of side effects. According to NIH.gov, the side effects are really no different than those of any other vaccine given. You can have soreness at the injection site, run of fever, headache, and possible fainting. In some cases, allergic reactions have been noted. Of course, there might still be side effects yet to be determined, but like any other vaccine, they are still monitoring the HPV vaccine for any other side effects. Now, I hope these do not keep you from getting your child vaccinated. If it does, then maybe you shouldn't get the shots that are recommended when they are babies. So you see, the main issue here is that HPV is widely spread, and there are stigmas on HPV that the person that has it is promiscuous. That's not true. There are women out there that have been married for 20, 30 plus years just finding out they have HPV. So your issue should not be what society will view you or how much you have to pay. It should be your child's health should be your number one. As you see, the side effects really aren't that bad and should not scare you into not getting the vaccine. What should scare you is the possibility of your child getting cancer from this or catching it too late, since the typical person does not go to the doctor like they should. So think long and hard about having your son and daughter vaccinated. I know I'm going to get my children vaccinated. I don't want them going through the turmoil that I have watched my friend go through in the past few months.